Our first team battle is one that's near and dear to some of our hearts. It's generational, and I mean that literally. We have the Team Zoomer versus Team Boomer, y'all. Yeah, that's right. So we are going to start off. Some people say that, we start off looking to the future, so we're going to look towards the future. We're going to introduce Team Zoomer. We have Dunk. I call him Rocco. Rocco, I'm just going to call you Rocco because that makes way more sense to me. Your username is always confusing. We're winging it, can't you tell? But this is how I am if you don't already know how I am. We got Rocco. We got Gonzo, Nate Bias with the team leader of dashark. Everyone, give it up for Team Zoomer! Walk back. Point to the camera. Oh man, it's the Zoomer vibes. It's sometimes you just want to curl up and just lo-fi and chill by the radio while you work on the school or watch TikToks and stuff. But next up, a personal bias of mine because I happen to be part of this team right here. Some people call us AARP, some people call us the OGs, some people like to talk about how our knees and back hurt. And if you're wondering, yes, it's kind of chilly right now. It do hurt right now. But that's not going to stop them from pulling out some DDR booze. I got to keep it PG, so, it's the family watching, so I can't say what I want to say. But nonetheless, everyone, give it up for Team Boomer! We got Vid, Ziggurat, Pat Ball, Jack with Big Matt as a captain. Give it up. Go ahead and flex for them, y'all. It's the best part. We used to cook to this back in the day. Oh, shoot. We are here in Jolly Cooperation in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of the Steelers, right by the Waterfront at Dave & Buster's for Dahn Dahn right, Encore, extra stage, which, for those of you who don't know DDR lingo, that's number 3. We are here for the 3-peat. I am so thrilled to be joined by one of the few human encyclopedias of DDR knowledge out there, Kim Alaka.
Hello.
Hello, Kim. So good to have you next to me.
Good to be here.
On the mic. Those of you, we live like within 5 minutes of each other. We see each other regularly, but it's not often that I get to actually sit here and do commentary.
I know. I was thinking that. I don't think we've ever actually done commentary together in all these years.
I can say that we definitely have, but it's more. It's usually been more of like a
out of necessity.
Right. Yeah, out of necessity. Like, Kim, get on the mic.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. I'm hopping in here when I need to fill in. Very rarely am I here for an entire weekend. So, for once, my butt's gonna be sitting in this chair for most of the time and not running around doing who knows what.
Yes, you have now been relegated to the seat instead of logistical nuisance.
I know. Well, I will be competing at some point today.
All right. So that being said, for this, we're just going to go ahead and hop right into the team
Let's
battle.
do it.
First match, we have Pat Ball up against Rocco. Both of them actually local to the area. Rocco, one of the other people who I like to say is a human encyclopedia.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely stellar amount of knowledge that fits in that brain. And Pat Ball, one of the most competitive players in the area. One of the most competitive players in the area. I seem to remember him making a challenge years ago against Peabody that whoever scored higher in the bracket gets to keep the P and B in this.
Oh, yes.
So for a long time, he even changed it on his EMUs. Pat Ball was going as at all.
He changed it on his EMUs and his many hats.
Oh, yeah, that's
He crossed off the P and the B on his Pat Ball hat, so it was an at all.
the keen-eyed viewers out there, you can see that you have that he has it on his hat. And we're just gonna go ahead and get it rocking.
Everyone hype up.
Roppongi C. Chat, let's lock in. This is the first of the day. Let's have some fun.
Oh man, we're just jumping straight into this, aren't we?
No warm-up too, so these guys are playing cold.
All right, so Roppongi C, one of the infamous Evolved packs, I guess, of songs. The Roppongis was the first set of Evolved songs that came to DDR, which was notable because there was different versions that had minor variations in the chart. So this has quite a few gimmicks going on later on in the chart that you'll see with some stops, and I think Roppongi C actually just has stops, no speed changes.
Yeah, and right now it's pretty straightforward in this. As you can see, they're pretty much dead on, within 1 or 2 points of each other as we go into the first section. Both still sitting on a gold combo. We're about to get ready to hit the first set of stops.
Yeah, Roppongi C actually one of the tamer of the Roppongis. It doesn't have quite as much going on in the gimmick department, but it's going to pick up a little bit here. Pat still got that gold combo going into the second half.
Oh, and he picks up a miss right there.
Okay, here's the slowdown.
All right, we are still within 1 point of each other, even with the miss, the second miss.
Oh yes, it's very close.
Rocco ahead by about 8 EX. He shook his head there.
Okay, here's this very syncopated ending here that's pretty notable for all the Roppongis. It looks like they're dialing in pretty well, but without a warm-up, just jumping straight into Roppongi is pretty rough. The 16th runs are going to be real rough there at the end without a warm-up, but they're both holding on pretty well. Rocco with a bit of a lead moving into the end. All right, Rocco's going to take that one.
1434, 1398. All right, so just for reference, the card draw, we have Roppongi C on the bounce, Super Summer Sale, and we vetoed Osaka Type 1 and Enchunku Blowing Wind.
Man, so they had 2 different Evolves in this card draw. That's a little rough between Roppongi and Osaka.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I probably would have done the same. I would rather play Roppongi C than Osaka 1.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. All right, shifting gears a little here, going into On the Bounce Expert, which is a 14. Pretty straightforward 14. Mostly notable because the sync is very early on this chart. Imagine both these players having a 998, a 997, and then a PFC for their scores. Are pretty familiar with the chart, so it's going to come down to a battle of the MA.
Yeah, definitely. And whoever locks in on that early sync first. Because as you said, I like to use the term that it is, you know, like varying degrees. I'm big on my adjectives. You could say that it is uncomfortably.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
All right, so Rocco with 1 on the board. Pat was doing a good job of locking it in, but he picked up a couple misses at the end and gave Rocco like enough burst. So let's see if he can come back on this. Who's gonna lock in? Let's go.
Yeah. So I just noticed that Pat Ball does not have the measure lines on his side, whereas Rocco does. I always forget that's an option that you can turn off. Some people seem to prefer that.
I'm starting to see more and more, especially with like you know with the combo placement as well. You would think that they would have it behind, but most people just have it in front. They're just used to it. And you can tell that both of these players are definitely used to this. They are dialed in.
Oh yes.
Pat picking up his first grade at about 150. Rocco still locked in on that gold combo, but Pat ahead by about 3 points. His M8 has just been crisp right there. All right, 1 point. So we get a little bit of a breather before we get into the next section with, where I kind of call it the breakout. It starts to get a little bit more gallopy.
Yeah. Both these players pretty dialed in with the sync. I haven't seen too many slows on the screen, so they're definitely staying ahead of that early sync on the song. Otherwise, they're pretty neck and neck. Rocco with a little bit of a lead. It looks like Rocco picked up a miss there.
Oh, and that's gonna give Pat a little bit of an edge. Here we go. We're gonna see.
Oh, wow, that was close.
Rocco brings
That
it
was
back
so
by
close.
2. 2-point difference.
Oh, wow.
12-62, 12-60. Rocco 39-2.
That was such a close hype match for this
At
early on.
40-4. So Rocco gets the first point for Team Zoomer. Back to the table, they say. Very lively today in Pittsburgh, as you can see.
Oh, yeah, it's great to hear everybody out here supporting their teams.
I mean, you got to give it to Team Zoomer, man. You know that what they lack in sometimes experience and in some places chart knowledge from older charts. They definitely make up with it with their ability to sleep in until 10:30 and come fully refreshed with that minimal recovery period.
All right, for those of you tuning in now, we are currently doing team battles. And if you are not familiar how that works, there are 5 players per team. And I believe they get to choose between who they want to match up against the other team or protect and veto order, depending on if they won or lost the previous match.
Yes.
So since Team Boomer lost that match, they should be getting the choice right now of who they want to face off with next, or if they want to pick their protect and veto order. So we'll see shortly here what they decide and what their song draw is. All right, so it looks like we're going to get our next team or next match set up here in a bit. We got our next card draw already done. So next card draw, we have, being played in this order, Astrogazer ESP, Setsuna Trip ESP, and then if we go to a third song, it's going to be Himawari Sunset. So we have a 15, a 14, and then a 13. The vetoed songs were Flow True Style and looks like Sweet Swa Tamaranai. So they vetoed 2 other 13s, and we're going to get it kicked off here with the hardest song of the bunch, Astrogazer. Astrogazer being a 15 now, formerly was a 16 when that first came out in DDR Ace. For any of you other boomers out there that remember that difficulty change.
I'm forever sad about that.
I know.
Change because that was like one of my highest 16s that I had.
All right, so we're moving into this. We're going to get those names updated for you in just a moment here with the correct players. We're getting some Let's Go Boomers chants out in the audience.
All right.
Oh, and how can you not love this song? This is such a banger. This is my favorite DJ Toto song.
I mean, I'm famous for having a DDR trading card when we were doing the DDR trading cards, the IC cards, where this song is the subject of it, and I actually had to rewrite my trading card.
Oh, really?
Because I said at the big deal on commentary at one point that this song slaps so hard, it slaps like a mama slapping you in the store if you stole something.
All right, we're going right into it here.
All right, here we go, here we go.
Name starts with J. I can't see the rest of it.
Both players are locked in right now. Both of them actually picking up a mutual great at the same drill section, coincidentally or not.
Jungtahrone and Jack. No, left and right. Jungtahrone, they're like a tier 2.
All right, Jack did pick up a miss really early on, but still is maintaining the lead by just a couple of points, actually.
Camera's on us right now.
All right, Jack picked up a miss, and right there at the drill section, so J&G, 7-point lead.
Oh, and the song's just going to continue to get more hype from this point out. All right, really close so far. They are less than 10 EX apart.
Which is impressive that Jack is, Jack's picked up like about 4 or 5 misses at this point, but he's still keeping it within 10 points of J&G, who's sitting on a full combo still at the stop.
All right, no dabs during the stops.
We are keeping it locked in. But J&G is now pulling ahead just quite a bit. Jack's picking up. He picked up a little bit too many misses.
All right, good show in full combo on J&G side, and he's going to take that win.
What are you telling me, Preston?
It's fine now. You had the camera on us for like the first time.
So he takes it, full combo. Jack with quite a bit misses, but we're going to go ahead, we're going to dial it back a little bit more for sets in a trip. We're going to go to the 14s folder on this one.
Although, I might argue that the Tsuna trip might be even harder than Astrogazer.
I don't know if I fully agree.
Who wants on one?
Jack. No, I'm sorry, J&G.
I don't know if I fully agree with that one.
I don't know, I think Satsuna Trip is a little tricky with all the crossovers, and the sync is a little... Oh, hold on. Did they give us the wrong card draw? Because we have
actually,
Satsuna
no.
Trip coming up.
No, spoilers. There was an override that was cashed in.
Look at that.
So they overrode. So there was an override with
Smart
SABER WING
choice.
Satellite CSP
Okay.
instead of Satsuna Trip.
I still think this is easier than Satsuna Trip.
I will agree with you. I will totally be on board with you on that one.
I mean, it depends on your skill sets, though, because this has quite a long stream in the middle of it. It's not super fast, but if you can't dial into that stream, that's going to cause you some issues, maybe trip you up.
All right, let's see if Team Zoomer can go ahead and cash this in.
Okay, so this song is one of two other Saber Wing remixes. Other one being Saber Wing Ishikura Headshot mix, which is notable for having a ton of gimmicks in it. But this one's pretty straightforward. No stops, no speed changes. It just got that long 16th run that kind of goes into a staircase in the middle. So if you can dial into that and lock in, I think that's gonna pull you ahead quite a bit. If you can nail that part, your competitor struggles a bit. Both of them executing those crossovers pretty flawlessly.
All right, triplet section. Both looking crisp. J&G with about a 20-point lead right now. Both still sitting on the full combo. All right, the stream section. Here we go. Both of them nailing it.
Oh yeah, they are dialed in. Couple greats on J&G side, but still maintaining that lead. It looks like Jack picked up a miss or two.
He had a great run where he had a nice white combo going, and then at the end he kind of picked up that good and that miss right there. All right, Jack locked in right now. We'll see how much he can close the gap. J&G, I'm sure, is not going to let this go. He wants to get that 2-0 for Team Zoomer right now.
All right, J&G taking the second song win with another full combo on that.
All right, so he takes that. We got a 2-0.
All right, Team Boomer taking the second match win. So we have a 1-1 tie in the overall team battle so far.
Oh yeah, that's Team Zoomer. So Team
Oh, I
Zoomer,
apologize.
yeah. It was flip-flop.
I was looking at the Boom versus Zoom and getting them mixed up.
It's okay, because, you know, pad preference is a thing.
That's very true.
All right, so a little bit of behind. Ooh, sorry, moved my mic a little bit too much. Shout out to Rana over there on the production roll.
That's Rana's arm. Yeah, we have just 3 of us here from Ohio DDR staff running the stream this weekend, so it's fun being here at a tournament that, you know, we can just do stream. You know, this isn't our event. We're just here to have fun, hype you up, and have a good time.
Yeah, that being said, if you happen to be running any events wherever you are in the U.S., or if you want to help us get to somewhere in, like, a different country and stuff, we are always happy to come out. Make sure you just hit us up on social media at Ohio DDR. Shoot us a DM on Twitter. We are super easy to work with. We can help you run your tournament, or we can just provide the stream and the commentary and do all of that stuff. We are super flexible.
Yep.
We travel. You know how it is, the stream team over here at Ohio DDR. Thank you so much to the PA rhythm game community for having us out here.
Oh, yes, this is great.
All right, so next up we got vyhd up against Team Captain dashark.
Oh, look at this card draw. We have
Oh, what?
We have
What?
Neutrino expert, Possession EDP expert, New York B.
3 16s.
We vetoed Blew My Mind expert and Endorphin.
Wow, what a set. That is a rough set. Even the vetoes, like all of those are just a lot to start with.
The card draw maketh the man in person and shall deny it.
I'm really surprised 4 16s got drawn, and then a pretty tricky 15. Endorphin is not an easy 15.
All right, tail of the tape. Both of them with similar scores. I like to say that like 800,000 is kind of around that point where you start to kind of understand what the chart is doing.
Sure. And this is a tricky chart. There's going to be lots of speed changes. It's going to go real slow at one point and then real fast at one point. So you got to dial in with your
I
speed
was
mod.
looking at the challenge. I was looking at their challenge scores. I'm so used to looking at the challenge scores. They both have upper 90s on this.
Yes,
So.
I think I saw vyhd was around a 960, 970, and dashark around a 930, 940. Yeah, very tricky song, especially to just start right off the bat. As a reminder, folks, these people have not had warm-ups. Neutrino ESP is their first song of the day.
All right, Vi still maintaining that full combo. Just broke gold combo right after the speed up. Shout out to the pad mic capturing the step. It's so crisp.
I love hearing that.
All right, the shark picking up a miss right out that speed up. Vi still sitting on that full combo with about a 45-point lead right now.
Okay, now we're going to settle into kind of a constant speed for a little while. And this song is just going to keep getting more hype.
All right, the step jumps. The shark picking up a miss right there.
All right, some really tricky rhythms from here on out. These gallops are a lot faster than they look like, and it's hard to keep up with it.
All right, both of them sitting on now good blue combo. Vi picking up his first miss. So we get a little bit of the breather right before the end part. The shark is good, whatever.
Wow. And vyhd's going to take that one.
Vi getting a W on the board for Team Boomer.
That is a rough song to start with. I don't care who you are. Playing Neutrino first song of the day, I don't think that's anyone's idea of a good time.
I don't like it, and I like that song.
Yeah.
Same.
I looked over and saw you with a cup. I'm like, you're already drinking?
All right, we're going to be changing gears a little bit here, going to Possession EDP Live. Arguably the easiest song in this match, but this is still a 16, so it's not like they're getting a break here.
All right, tail of the tape, the shark with a PFC of about 65 on this, and Vi pretty close, within striking distance, a 99.
Yeah, it probably looks like a 1 grade on vyhd side.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a really close match. It looks like they both of them are pretty good at this. This is a simpler version of original Possession, most notably being that there's no speed changes.
Yes, way more straightforward. Makes up for it with some trickier patterns in some of those sections.
Yeah, but it's going to have your Possession 12th note jumps, which everyone knows and loves.
All right, both of them still locked in on the gold combo. The shark ahead by about 3 EX points. And picking up his first great right there. Still maintaining the lead over Vi. He's down by about 9. All right, there go those jumps.
And they're both just dialed in for these.
Both of them locked in on that white combo. About 2 perfects apiece through that whole section.
All right, we're going to go into the box run here and see how they fare for that. Both of them pretty clean through that box run. So dashark still with a very little bit of a lead. vyhd still has the gold combo on his side. We'll see. Oh, I knew as soon as I said it.
He did it.
All right, moving through the last 12th note jumps here. Still very close. Dashark only up by
By about 11.
yeah. Ooh, vyhd picking up his first good.
dashark making that look clean
Oh, man.
to get the run back.
All right. We're going to our first tiebreaker.
64-2
That
on
is
the shark
clean.
side, 70-3 with 2 goods.
That was really close. Yeah, really good job to both of them. 2 16s in a row, and it's not letting up for the next song.
Which is coincidentally also a 16 as we go into New York Evolved.
New York Evolved B. So, not the hardest New York, but none of the New Yorks are easy. Yeah, it looks like vyhd has the AAA on this. dashark has a 978. So, song's in vyhd's favor, but again, they just played 2 16s with no warm up, and they're playing a third 16. So we'll see how well they're warmed up and how much stamina they have after those first 2.
Yeah, I can tell. Vi doing a little bit of calculating, trying to remember and dial in his speed on that one, but he's locked in. All right, here we go. This could potentially be the final match. Winner gets a point. Let's see if Team Boomer can get a point on the board. Or if we're going to go into a 3-0 for Team Zoomer.
So this song is actually pretty late in the sync department. So you're going to see both of them trying to hold back a bit. Keep seeing a few fast sneak up on the board. And I think they're both aware of the sync situation, so they're trying to hold back a bit.
Vi locked in right now. +7 on this PB. I mean, are we going to get our first? We got some up scores right there, but are we going to get our first true up score today? I love them. First of many.
Well, it'd be crazy on New York Evolved of all things.
Of all of them, with no warm-up, that would be crazy. The Shark picking up a miss. Vi right now by about 16.
Maybe the Neutrino is the first song of the day as a new strat.
That might be. That might be just, you know, what works for them.
Okay, this part kind of tricky. There really is no good way to turn that. You really do have to kind of double step a lot of that section.
Right at the stop. Vi still up right now.
Still very close. Only up by
9
less than
points.
10. You can hear them very firmly stepping to keep that rhythm through the section. It's very hard to stay on beat during the slowdown. And both of them showing that they know this section very well. Ooh, both of them picking up a miss on the same step. vyhd pulling up quite the lead through that section. He's up by almost a 30 EX now, so we'll see if he can hold on to that lead through the rest of the song. Dashark catching back up a little bit.
Yeah, he's definitely tapping in right now.
Looks like the slowdown was a little tricky for both of them, but they are giving it their all to close this out. Oh, man. 10 points.
Vi getting a W on the board for Team Boomer.
Wow, that was only a 10 EX lead. That went back and forth so much. Dashark kept that in real close.
And you can hear the audience, the chant for "Let's Go Boomer" in LA that just happened recently. We had a 3-foot one.
Oh my God.
And
How do you get that home?
well, thankfully, it was won by someone who lives in the area. So,
Thankfully.
You know, he didn't have to take it on the plane like I did. So, card draw. We have Awake Challenge, which you see right here, Sakura Sunrise Expert, and ALPACORE Expert.
Okay, so a little bit more straightforward from the last match we saw, which was very tricky songs. These, I mean, they're still not easy, but you're not going to have any gimmicks in any of these songs.
They're less of a knowledge check compared to the other ones.
Pretty much a straight stamina check with Awake Challenge, which this is also pretty rough to start right off the gate without a warm-up.
All right, here we go. We got Ziggurat and Nate Bias. Team Boomer with 1 on the board to Team Zoomer with 2. Both of these players are locked in, but it is the early part of the song. Here we go.
Again, very rough song to start. the date with. I think everyone's just about started with a 16 now, if you count Astrogazer as 16.
Yeah, I mean,
Which it
in my
was,
heart-
so.
In my heart, it's still a 16. Ziggurat's up by about 40 right now. Nate, starting, I noticed a little early on, he kind of had a little bit of trouble kind of dialing in on the first
Oh, yeah.
section.
I mean, this is a pretty fast song, too. Those 16th note runs are no joke.
All right, but Nate looking a little bit more comfortable right there.
I wonder if Sandblow is upset that he did not get Sandblow in the card draw. You can see quite a big difference in the speed read, too. Nate Bias reading on 3.5, so he looks pretty comfortable with the faster read speed. Sandblow reading over in 2.75, but he's pretty dialed in, so he's comfortable with that slower speed.
And picking up his first miss right there out of the screen section right there. But he's still sitting on a comfortable lead by about 55 points right now.
All right, Sandblow's going to take that first song win.
All right, by a clean 100-point EX point difference.
Well, if they're not warmed up now after that, I don't know what else he's going to do, because that is a lot of steps to warm up with.
AARP chants in the audience. Gotta love the liveliness of all the attendees here. Something that, because we're always evolving here, at the Ohio DDR stream team. Consolidating it to one camera for logistic purposes at a different angle, so that way you can see more of the face. But what you might be missing out on, and is always a topic at DDR, or I guess I would say, like foot panel tournaments, footwear.
Sure.
So we look at Nate Bias, who's using one of the newer editions of Nike Free. It's pretty standard. But we have Sandblow Ziggurat with those really grippy socks.
Oh, is that what those are?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what that was.
You see those a lot on with a lot of ITG players and pump players.
Are they actually grippy on the bottom?
They're obnoxious.
Like hospital socks?
Beyond grippy.
Really? I think you would want less grippy. Well, I guess it depends on your play style.
Yeah, it depends on preference.
All right, so shifting gears a little bit here, going into Sakura Sunrise, it's going to be, it's 2 levels easier than Awake, so it is definitely easier, but it is going to have a lot of step jumps, so we'll see how well they do with that strat. Most of them opting to double step through these crossovers with just being 8th notes, perfectly reasonable. This is going to come down to MA for sure on this song.
Yeah, and Nate, definitely a little bit more comfortable on this. Up by 3 right now. And as you said, both of them locked in, both of them choosing the double step. All the crossovers. Feeling a little bit more comfortable on that. Nate rushed that first set of gallops, but eventually dialed it in, still maintaining a 7-point lead over Ziggurat right now.
Yeah, still very close. This is going to go either way. One mistake is all that separates between the two of them.
Nate's still holding on to the lead as we get to the end of the song.
All right. Both of them with grateful combo, but Nate's going to take that win.
Very happy with his result there.
$19 is pretty insane on that. Wow.
Mans was purely locked in. The bias of the crowd for Nate Bias. All right, and hello, chat. I finally have you up. Hello, all of you beautiful stream monsters. And coincidentally, that is not my swim trophy. I was busy playing soccer in 1998 and 1999. And I am terrible at FIFA. I always have been terrible at that game.
Yeah, I played softball for about 8 years as a kid. Mostly because I wasn't good at sports, and softball was one of those things you could kind of get away with not being good at. Just stuck me in left field and left me there.
I mean, here I am with a torn labrum healing specifically from playing softball. So I would say no, skill issue.
That's fair.
Definite skill issue on my part. All right, tail of the tape. Ziggurat with a 99.8, Nate with a 97.6. So we are going to see how it goes. This is going to determine the sway of the match here.
Oh,
Team
man.
Boomer can actually be 2-2.
Okay, so sort of like Ziggurat is definitely with the advantage here on the harder songs. Nate Bias a little bit more keen on the better MA for lower level songs. But this could go either way, being an easier 16.
All right, and just for production, overall score, Team Boomer with one win, and Team Zoomer with 2. So we're 1-1 in the match so far. Nate, super locked in.
Yeah, I think playing Awake definitely woke him up.
Oh yeah, it was a little bit of a reality check, you know. Stumbled a little bit with the MA right there. Ziggurat definitely way stronger on some of those streams. Is able to catch up a little bit. Nate picked up a good right there, but locked back in with the MA.
Yeah, so ALPACORE, one of the songs, I believe it was an early Golden League song back from the East 2.0 era.
That is correct.
Ended up getting a 17 challenge chart sometime on Ace 3, which is much harder than the 16, of course, but thankfully we are not in the 17th yet, because that would be a rough start for the day.
Boy, wouldn't it? Noteworthy for also being Cranky's first DDR song, which
That's true.
frankly overdue.
Oh, a very close match. Sandball's going to take that with an 18 EX lead.
And Team Boomer now tied it back up. Overall, 2-2.
They're booming on up.
Shout out to Team Boomer, showing the youngins what
How it's
for.
done.
GG's to both players. I loved seeing Nate just progress. You could see him progressively just lock in throughout it. Stumbled a little bit, but I think Awake, as you kind of said, it caught him off guard right at the beginning. But then Sakura Sunrise, you could just see him just physically locking in right there.
All right, so we're moving on to match 4 of Team Boomers versus Zoomers. I was just about to say, we haven't actually seen any Boomer songs come up, but we're about to have 2, y'all.
All right, so we're going to start off with No Plan Days at 16.
Another 16 for warm-up. This keeps happening.
Hey, you're not good at 16, shut up.
You don't have a choice.
Then we're going to have a song that's basically a 16. We're going to go to NGO Expert. And then we're going to go to Horatio Expert.
Yeah. Oh, did we have a pocket pick or a replacement?
Oh,
It looks
did.
like we might replace No Plan Days with New Era Difficult. Experts? Okay, we are, scratch what I said about warming up with a 16, we are warming up with a 17. That is a decision. All things considered, though, I mean, No Plan Days, that's what, like a 210 BPM 16 versus New Era. And New Era is kind of fast, but this is on the simpler side in terms of 17s, but the foot speed is there. And to start with the song, I wonder if this was a Zoomer pick.
I would think so. The thing is, I do know Matt, he does have experience playing this song.
True.
Despite what you see.
Yeah.
All right, they hug it out. Here we go.
All right, first 17 of the tournament and first 17 of the day for both of these people. All right, so a lot of gimmicks in this chart. I imagine both of them probably know this pretty well, though. It's another iteration of the Soda New songs. We had New Decade, New Century. I think this was the third one, New Era, and then New Millennium's the newest one. Yeah, Dunk looking very comfortable for this. I have to imagine this was his pick.
That would make sense, for sure.
But Big Matt's holding up just fine in this as well.
And not sure if you brought it up, but yes, this song is noteworthy for, this is a knowledge check song.
Oh, absolutely. If you don't know these speed changes,
yep,
it's...
tons of speed changes, tons of stops, especially as we kind of get towards the end half of the song. This was noteworthy for being an extra stage, and a lot of the extra stage, of course, if you play Konami songs long enough, they're gimmicky because they're almost designed to make you fail on
absolutely.
the first playthrough. Not very sight read friendly.
Part's a little Sakura callback, or at least I like to think it's a Sakura callback.
And one thing, talking to Big Matt earlier on, you know, he was definitely more into this tournament today, the team battle for fun, because he said that he's just likening this as a warm up for when he actually does, you know, plays pool.
Well, I mean, New Era Expert's a hell of a warm up.
It's, you know, by warm up you mean diving, cliff diving into the pool. Then yes, you're totally correct.
All right, so we're going to be moving into the ending run here, which is pretty tricky. Got some crossovers in it. We'll see if they decide to do those crossovers or double step all of this.
All right, in the drills.
All right, Dunk's going to take it with a pretty solid lead. I don't know how you do that for a song of the day, but they did.
I mean, that's the Zoomer advantage, being able to just hop into stuff.
37 and a miss, 17 difficulty chart for a song of the day.
Yo, Dunk, I'm gonna need you to chill, bro. I'm gonna need you to chill.
All right, well, it's boomer time next. We are going to NGO, which NGO's been subject of a lot of talk since the newest DDR version dropped because they changed the sync on NGO recently. However, we are playing on Ace2O Plus that has the original sync. So, depending on what these two players are used to, I don't know if they've played NGO since the sync's been updated and now are going back to playing it on Ace2O Plus. That could be very difficult to adjust to.
This is where I would, despite what we see in score, depending on how much Dunk does play, this is where it would be a boomer advantage, especially like in that Supernova 2 era where like we really grinded the heck out of this song.
Right.
However, you talk about the sync changing, it's not like it got better.
No, but it got different, significantly different. So NGO was normally pretty late, and they made it very early on World, but we're now playing with the original sync. So we'll see how they manage this and what they're comfortable with.
Yeah, it's just more of like, how much has Dunk played NGO since World dropped?
Right. And also on World, not only did they change the sync, but they also changed some of the steps. So again, depending which version they're used to playing this on, that could definitely affect them. But notably, if you saw before they started the song, Dunk had a PFC on every difficulty of this up to Expert. So he's pretty familiar with the song.
Oh, absolutely. Dunk is a very high-level player. We saw him at Upbeat. We've seen him in top 16 at a lot of other tournaments. Having NGO down is a necessity at high level.
Looks like both of them playing this on left. I'm sure to kind of minimize the crossover action in the ending run.
All right, and we're about to get ready to go into the slowdown here.
This slowdown is impossible to time. I don't know how anyone times this slowdown.
It's one of those things where you just have to just commit it to memory.
Try it again.
All right, here we go. We're about to go into that end screen.
Both of them showing off their double step tech.
Yo, what is up with that MA from
That
Dunk?
was insane. I think both held it very well through that ending run. But Dunk's going to take the win for that match.
All right, and Team Zoomer with the 3-2 victory. The Skibbity as they GG's. All right.
All right, everyone give it up for Team Zoomer for taking the victory. The era of the Riz Maxon and Skibbity Toilet has began. The future is now, old man. Something that was literally said out loud. But also give it up for Team Boomer. That's not a testament to their skill or their play or their experience, but y'all, you gotta understand, waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, playing these songs cold at 16, we gotta warm up for real. Like, shout out to y'all for doing the good thing, for putting in that work. All right.